Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody opinion of you determine yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Sheduer Lorenzo coming to you with another episode of the Let That Marinate podcast. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. Been going through some stuff and had to take me a little break, little mental break, but I'm back at it. I want to thank everybody who reached out to check on me and they were asking about the podcast and, really feels good, man, knowing that I got people supporting me like that and, wanting to, see me back at it. So, yeah, we're not stopping, man. We're not stopping. Just had to take a little break, but I'm back. You know what I mean? And again, thank y'all for the support. Thank you for the love. Really means a lot. I appreciate it. Um, man, so much to talk about, right? So much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. Um, I guess I'll start with the NFL draft. We just had the NFL draft last weekend. It was pretty interesting to say the least. First off, major shouts out to Cam Ward for going number one. Travis Hunter went number two. So yeah, man, to see two young black men, young black kings, living their dream, doing their thing. It's a beautiful thing to see. But the biggest highlight from the NFL draft, of course, is Sheduer Sanders, who actually ended up getting picked in the fifth round, 144th pick, as a matter of fact. And there was a whole lot of controversy behind that, right? A whole lot of controversy because everybody was, kind of wondering why did it take so long for him to get picked up? And there were so many different narratives, so many different negative connotations attached to that. And it was just kind of crazy, man. It was just crazy. And, of course, my take on that. Well, before I even get on that, I also want to shout out his brother, Shiloh Sanders, who he ended up getting drafted. He got drafted to the Bucks. Um, not sure what round he went. It might have been the fifth round as well. I'm not sure, but shouts out to him as well for getting picked up. And by the way, Sheduer Sanders, he ended up getting picked up by the Cleveland Browns. So, yeah, major shouts out to them, for, living the dream, working hard to get to this level. So major shouts out to them. Shouts out to their dad, the legendary Deion Sanders, uh, for molding his sons into the men that they are now. So, it was just a beautiful thing to see. However, I think the biggest thing that people kind of took from that, like I said, there was so many narratives surrounding that. Some thought that the NFL was teaching him a lesson. Some feel like he got drafted so low because of who his father is. Um, so a lot of people were saying that this was Deion Sanders' fault. Um, and you know what, man? It's my opinion on that is why can't we just celebrate the fact that Deion Sanders was just simply being a father, help guiding his sons, you know, throughout life, not just their football career, but throughout life in general. That's what good fathers do, right? They help their sons um, get to the level that they want to be. And of course, his sons, they wanted to play football. I don't think that Dion made them play football. I think this was a decision that they made for themselves. They wanted to become football players. So who better to help guide them in that area than their own father, right? Because Deion Sanders, he's a legend. Not only did he play football, but he played baseball, right? Like I think he I think he had a football game and a World Series game in the same day. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of tells you, the type of athlete that Deion Sanders was, because he was a beast on both baseball and football. He was an absolute beast, right? So yeah, of course, there's nobody better to help guide them in that particular sport than their own father. And I don't understand why people had such a problem with that. I don't understand why it was such a problem seeing Deion Sanders guide his sons the way that he did. I don't get that. A lot of folks had took issues with LeBron James, with his son, help guiding him, and of course there's this whole nepotism thing that people wanted to throw out there, regarding Bronny, getting on the Lakers or whatever. And if you want to use that word, then cool, fine. But my thing is, we've seen this sort of thing happen quite a few times. You know, we've seen this happen. I don't know if everybody is familiar with Archie Manning. He had two sons who played in the NFL by the names of Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. And Archie Manning made sure that he had his hands. I know he made sure that he had his hands in, you know, navigating where Eli would play, right? Like he had a lot to do with that. So nobody had an issue with that. Nobody had a problem with that, right? All of a sudden, we have two black men who was doing the same for their sons, right? Doing the same for their sons. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. That's the issue that I have with that. Everybody wants to make it a big issue now because Deion Sanders, LeBron James, um, you might even want to throw in LeVar Ball. You might even want to throw him in there because the way he was guiding his sons with their careers, right? Everybody had an issue with that. But if we can be real about this thing, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of kids out there who would love to have a father like that. They would love to have a father to be active in that way with their lives, right? I'm sure that, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the issue with, um, maybe that's the issue that a lot of people do have with that. The fact that a black man is raising his sons to be men, and the fact that they're active in the way that they are. Because of course there are so many, within the black community, there's not a lot of that going on right now. There's not a lot of active fathers. There's not a lot of, you know, kids being raised in a two-parent home. There's a lot of kids, not being raised by their fathers, not even seeing their fathers, right? And but now that but because we're seeing how, you know, people like Deion Sanders, LeBron James, LeVar Ball, you know, even Serena and Venus Williams, their father, right? I haven't seen the movie, but based on the reviews and all of the different opinions about the movie, it seemed that their dad had a lot to do with their career as well. So some people may view it as a problem. I view it as a black father being active in his kid's life. And I don't see how anybody can have a problem with that. I don't see how anybody can take issues with that. Right? Like we're actually seeing it before our very eyes, how they're raising their kids. And I don't and I actually salute it. I salute it, right? Because if you think about it, you haven't heard anything crazy going on with their kids. There's no allegations, there's no scandals, you know, there's no arrests, there's no you don't hear anything about them getting in trouble, right? So I think that's a testament to the parents raising them in the right way. And that is a beautiful thing. That is something to definitely celebrate and not frown upon it. You know, I thought that was just crazy how everybody had so much negative things to say about, you know, this situation. However, they they winning right now. They're winning, right? They all came out on top. Deion Sanders has two sons playing in the NFL, right? Um, I mean, if you want to throw Travis Hunter in there as well, you know, because Deion did help mold him into the player that he is. So as a result, he went number 2 overall in the NFL. So to me, that says a lot about who Deion Sanders is and the type of man that he is and the type of father that he is. So I feel like that should be celebrated. I feel like LeBron James and his son should be celebrated. LeBron, you know, he's to me, I always felt like LeBron was winning in life, period, because, you know, we haven't heard of any craziness going on with him. He's always been big on his family. He's always been big on his businesses. Um, you know, and that's pretty much all it is, you know. And unfortunately, people don't like seeing stuff like that. They don't like seeing, you know, successful black men, you know, accomplishing things the right way. You know what I'm saying? And Deion Sanders did it the right way. LeBron James did it the right way. LeVar Ball did it the right way. Venus and Serena's dad did it the right way. So honestly, I think that's what we should look at and celebrate more than anything. The fact that you had active black fathers in their kids' lives, raising them the right way, shaping and molding them into the adults that they are today. I think that's something that we should um you know we should again we should celebrate that more than anything. So again, major shouts out to the Sanders boys. Salute to Travis Hunter, Cam Ward. Salute to everybody in that NFL draft that got picked. You know, I know that, you know, playing professional sports isn't an easy thing to do. Um, not very many, you know, make it in the pros. So to all the ones that's made it in the pros, hey, good for you. Salute to you. Uh, go out there and do great things. Um, you know, and just keep winning. Just keep winning. You know, let the people with all the negativity, you know, let them say what they got to say, and, you know, just keep it moving. You know, just keep it moving because you actually accomplished what you set out to do, and I think that should motivate you to just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Again, major shouts out to the fathers. You know, not just you know the famous individuals, but I'm talking about black fathers. Period. Black fathers in the world that's doing the right thing, taking care of their kids. You know, doing everything that's necessary to raise them in the right way. Salute to y'all. Um, so yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today, man. And you know, once again, thanks to everybody that, you know, showed some love and support, you know, wanting me to get back into it. And I am, like I said, I had to take me a little mental break and, you know, just kind of get myself together, but I'm back at it. And you know, there's gonna be more episodes to come. So in the meantime, y'all have a great day. Until next time, salute, let that marinate.
Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody's opinion of you determine yourself.